Hello everyone, I hope that you are doing well. So without wasting any time, let's move to the newspaper. First we will identify the important news and then we'll move on to the analysis section. Hello everyone, this is Thursday, May 19, 2022, the Hindu Delhi edition. As usual, we'll be first identifying the most important news followed by a complete discussion of the same. So let's move further. There has been a development that Supreme Court freed Perari Valam, okay, in Rajiv Gandhi assassination case, right? And it has invoked a special power under Article 142 to give complete justice. So we'll be reading this, okay, briefly. SC allow OBC quota for MP local body polls. We'll also see this now. Ethanol blend in petrol to be raised to 20% by in 3 years, okay, so we'll see this also. So there is nothing on that page, and on this page also I don't think anything we have. And on this page, let's see. No, there is nothing on this page also. SC commute just center. No, nothing is here. Okay, so on the editorial page we have delimitation fallout need no political forecasting. Again, just know about this delimitation commission and action of delimitation, right? Not more than this. So we won't be doing this. If you want, you can give it a read, but it's okay. It won't be helping us. Is one set of state to while this depleting representative muscle to another with fuel. North India, North South India not required. Law and public opinion. The release of Perari Velam is no endorsement of any claim of innocence. Obviously. The Roe draft ruling could affect other civil rights. It constitutionally protect women's rights could face revocation. If constitutionally protected women's rights could face revocation, the rights of gay and lesbian people may be next. Okay, what is this? Roe versus Wade draft opinion being in news for possible impact on abortion right. What was? I don't see it very much necessary. We'll see it very briefly, very briefly. Not required. Fall of Mariupol, not required. On a quest for a real pan-India cinema, not required. We'll see this. We're replacing PhD professors with practitioners' work. We'll see what it has to say. Text and context page, the confusion over status of Assam NRC. We'll do the gist. If required, then only we'll go inside it, okay? India's vulnerability to drought, we have to do this disaster management part. Creating our own password manager. Okay, we'll see this briefly. What it has to say. And then on this news page, I don't think we have anything. And on this also, okay, nothing is there. On this also, okay, we'll see this. Past 7-year warmest. World Meteorological Organization has said this. Okay. And let's see. So Finland and Sweden has applied to join NATO formally, and this may be one of the most important geopolitical event after this Russia-Ukraine war, right? So, and obviously Turkey won't like it. Okay, Russia expels dozen of no, not required. Tamil war victim, not required. To prove, not required. Rate increase need to be front loaded. And who is saying? MPC Verma. Monetary Policy Committee, no, this is required, and thus urges bank to watch. This is also required. Okay. De Bruyne flags data on consumer spending survey this year is in all the probability. What is this? Okay, we'll see it also. See this also. Okay, and now we are on the sports page. Usually we don't have much news on the sports page related to our examination. Okay, so with this we come to end of news identification and we move towards news analysis. Fine. So let's see the first news. Supreme Court frees Perari Valam. So there are 3-4 things that has to be understood. Why Supreme Court intervened, and what is this Article 142, and what is the status of governor or president in this thing, right? The there must have been a petition with Supreme Court, right? Let's see, the Supreme Court on Wednesday invoked its extraordinary powers to do complete justice under Article 142. Okay, decree of Supreme Court for doing complete justice. 142 is this only. Okay, it has come once in examination. 2 years back it has come. Okay, judgment plus decree of Supreme Court for complete justice, right? Okay, a bench led by the Justice L. Nageswar Rao in his judgment took the consideration of his long incarceration of over 30 years in order to release. Perarivalam is currently on bail. The apex court has commuted his death penalty to life sentence for murder in 2014. The court held that the Tamil Nadu Council of Ministers advice to pardon Perarivalam was binding on governor under Article 161. Yes, we know that the cabinet advice is always binding on governor of constitution. The governor had no business for forwarding the pardon plea to president after sitting on it for years together. Non-exercise of power. The advice of state cabinet is binding on governor in matter related to commutation or remission of sentences under Article 161. No provision under the constitution has been pointed out to us, nor any satisfactory response centered to the source of governor power to defer recommendations made by the state cabinet to President of India. In the instant case, the governor ought not have sent the recommendation made by the state cabinet to the president. Such action is contrary to constitutional scheme. It said that the governor delay to decide Perarivalam pardon for more than 2 years has compelled the court to employ its constitutional power under Article 142. Okay, so this is it. So 2-3 things are important. Article 142 is important here. Let me change the color for better visibility. This is also not visible. For instance, take this. Article 142 is important here, and Article 161 is important here. Okay, 161, Council of Ministers to aid and advise governor, and this is decree and judgment. Okay, so 2 things are there. Now let's see other news. You understand now? So why Supreme Court did it? Because governor was not doing it, and it has therefore invoked his special power under Article 142, right? Okay, let's see. SC allowed OBC quota for Madhya Pradesh local body poll. SEC, State Election Commission, told to notify the poll program. The Supreme Court on Wednesday directed implementation of reservation of OBC in local body polls to be held in Madhya Pradesh. Okay, the court permitted the state commissioner to notify the program for local bodies, keeping in mind delimitation, notification of and report submitted by the backward class commission. Okay, so it kept in mind what? Delimitation, notification and report submitted by backward class commission, right? Okay, 100 and panchayat local bodies in without waiting for the complete triple test exercise and further delimitation prior to poll. However, an application to modify the court order was filed shortly thereafter. It said the backward class commission has submitted revised report for the triple test of reservation for OBC and gave a breakup of the reservation of local body. So after that, court applied the triple test method, right? And then it gave its decision. So what is triple test method? Let's find out on the internet. Triple test method by Indian Supreme Court. The triple test exercise requires that a state wish to introduce reservations should appoint a commission to study the need for quota and collect data on backwardness of the community in the question. Okay, so there should be a data driven study for backwardness. Okay, now OBC quota is everywhere. Okay, let's move further. I don't think anything else was here, and neither on the next 3-4 pages, right? Now on this, as usual, we do editorial, text and context, and op-ed page at last. Now here we had no news, of course. Yes, here there was a news. Past 7-year warmest, says WMO. Okay, so what is the status? Extreme weather led to economic damage, worsened food and water security, right? So extreme weather has resulted into economic damage, food worsening or food shortage and water security issues. Past 7 years were warmest on record, and 2021 did not see record-breaking temperatures because of La Nina event at the start and end of the year, according to a report by WMO on Wednesday. La Nina is cooling for surface temperature within Central Pacific. While this had temporary cooling effect, it did not reverse the overall trend of rising temperature. The average global temperature in 2021 was about 1.11 degree Celsius above the pre-industrial level. Okay, so average global temperature in 2021 has already breached the 1 degree mark, right? So we'll now see what is La Nina, because it is frequently in news and this is related to our static, but still I'll be dealing with this so that you understand what is the complete picture here. Okay, so let's go to see it. Let me create some space. Right, now let's see what happens normally. If this is your equator and this is your Asia, right, and this is your Indonesia, this is Australia, and this is your, okay, you are now getting what I am drawing, right? So what happens in normal cases that, or let me draw this first, that the coast near Peru, right, is cold. Why? Due to a current called Peruvian current. Okay, and the coast near this thing, Australia, Indonesia, Australia, is warm, right, because it is near to equator. Simple. So what will happen? From warm there would be a rise of air, okay, because of low pressure the air would rise up. Oh my god, what had happened this? Okay, the air would rise up, it would go like this and it would settle down here. Okay, and this would lead to what? This would lead to, wait, okay, and this I won't be rubbing those things. I'll be rubbing only the things that are not required so that I can draw the next picture. Okay, you got it till here? So what happens? That the current starts to flow due to air. Which color should I choose? Now let me choose this one, red only. That may be helpful. Okay, so air will sink here at Peruvian high and this would lead to a current, right? This is a simple Walker cell. Okay, Walker cell, where the air rises from near Australia, Indonesia and goes on to settle near Peru, and this leads to a current called Walker current. Okay, right, so this is the normal case. Now let's see the El Nino and La Nina case. Okay, so what happens in El Nino, that for the similar event, say this is your equator, so this is Asia, this is Indonesia, this is Australia, and this is, okay, South Africa, South America, right? So for similar event, as that has this should have been cold, but this becomes warmer. Okay, and the Australian coast should have been warmer, it becomes relatively cooler. Okay, so what will happen now? Very simple, air will rise from here, okay, and go and sink at this point. Now when it sink at this point, we have another current coming from this part, right? Let me take, no, pink is not good color, green. Okay, so this will start to blow like this, the ocean current. Okay, this is called El Nino current. You understand now? So what happens in El Nino? That it starts to blow from Australian to Peruvian coast. Okay, now let's see the impact on India. What will happen? Now if we draw this back, map back, so India would be like this somewhere. Okay, so what happens? And here is your, going by that, we'll have somewhere here like this, Africa. Okay, and here is your this thing. Now we'll have a very cold pressure here, right? A very cold pressure is here called Mascarene's high. Okay, this is called Mascarene high, right? Now what happens that monsoon do what? Monsoon originates from here and it starts to go like this, and after crossing the equator it turns right, and it comes to India. But what will happen, since there is a high pressure here, okay, and there is a low pressure here, I should use a different color, right? There is a low pressure here, so what will happen, this low pressure, instead of linking it with Mascarene's high, right, this gets to divide, this divides and also links with this part, right? Okay, so this what do, this affects the monsoon, this decreases the monsoon. Okay, and therefore during El Nino the monsoon is not intensified. But what happens in La Nina? La Nina is just opposite. It means that this coast becomes what? Very cool, very cold, means more colder than the initial normal condition, right? And this one, Australian coast, becomes very warm. Okay, so what will happen then, the Walker cell that we discussed will be intensified. Okay, we have it like this, very intensified Walker cell, and due to this there will be a Walker current that would be intensified like this. Okay, from here to here, you are getting it. And now this low pressure here in India won't be, this low pressure won't be joining this high pressure. Why? Because low pressure, these low pressures won't join, so this is not present, and absence of this means this is more and more intensified. More intensified means this goes on to come like this. So monsoon intensifies during this thing, right? Cut. So you understand this, and this is this red one is La Nina current, right? So we got this thing. Fair enough. You understand what is El Nino, La Nina and normal year, and how does it affect India, right? So this Walker cell actually get related to this Indian monsoonal cell. Okay, now let's see. La Nina cools that we have done, cools the surface temperature in Central Pacific. Obviously, look, let me take the color, a different color. This La Nina current obviously passes through what? Pacific. This is Pacific Ocean, so it is passing through Pacific Ocean, right? And this is what? This region is Central Pacific. Okay, so it does what? It cools it down, right? Okay. Record heat has been observed, fine. Okay, what are the 4 key climate change indicator? Now this is a good thing. By WMO, greenhouse gas concentration, sea level rise, ocean heat and ocean acidification set new records. Extreme weather led to economic damage estimated by at hundreds of billions of dollars and trigger shock for food, water security and displacement at worsen. So 3 things it has caused. What it has caused? Food shortage, water shortage and climate induced displacement, right? Okay, renewables are the only path to real energy security, stable power prices and sustainable employment opportunity. If we act together, renewable energy transformation can be the peace project. Okay, world must act in the decade to prevent even worsening of climate impacts. It is just a matter of time before we see another warmest year on record. Okay, our climate is changing before our eyes. The heat trapped by human induced greenhouse gas will warm the planet for many generations to come. Sea level rise, ocean heat and acidification will continue for hundreds of years unless means to remove carbon from atmosphere are invented. Some glaciers have reached the point of no return and they will have long-term repercussions in the world, which more than 2 billion people already experiencing, in which more than 2 billion people are already experiencing water stress, right? So 2 things to get from this part is La Nina role and 4 key climate change indicators. So whenever a question on climate change comes in examination, right, then you can use these 4 things. Okay, fine. Now let's see. Anything else left? Look, sometimes I explain things so that you get the clear picture of things, right? I need not to explain these things because these are just the static section that you have already covered in your geography lessons, right? But still it needs to be done somewhere to understand things properly and in better perspective. Okay, and let's see if anything else is left. Okay, rate increase need to be front loaded. Okay, what is this? MPC Verma said sees need for more than 100 BPS rate increase. Okay, very soon. Minutes of MPC meet show. Okay, so initially it was 4%, now it becomes 4.4%, and is expecting that it will be somewhere near 5.5 to 5.4%. Expectations in future. Why? To curb inflation, right? Because yesterday WPI, okay, was up about 18%, I think, yesterday news, right? And CPI is already about 8%, right? So we are crippled with a very high inflation right now. Okay, let's see. Several storms hitting together, resulting in inflation risk that has become more pronounced and persistent. Okay, as several storms hit the economy, our monetary policy response should be seen as an important step to steady the ship. Okay, 40 basis point, we know. Waiting for 1 month in June, MPC would mean losing the most time while relating inflationary prices, while war-related inflationary pressure accentures. Further, it may necessitate a much stronger action in June. Okay, and all those things are there. Give it a minute. Now I understand that it is minute of the meeting, and it is saying that expect a rise of 1% at least in near future, very near future. Okay, because inflation is crippling our economic growth and we need to curb down the inflation. Okay, thus urges bank to watch global scene, ease its impact, take proactive steps, says RBI chief. Has asked bank to remain watchful of the ongoing geopolitical developments and proactively take mitigation measures, including raising capital to minimize potential impact on their balance sheet. Okay. Governor, along with other RBI officials, meet with the MD, CEO of select public and private sector bank on Tuesday and Wednesday, the Reserve Bank of India said in the statement. In his remark, Mr. Das noted a key role played by the bank in supporting the economic throughout the pandemic. Further, he said the banking sector had stayed resilient and continued to improve despite facing various headwinds. He advised the bank to remain watchful of the recent geopolitical development and taking mitigating measures proactively, including raising of capital, etc. Right. So he says that banks should fasten their seat belts and should, due to ongoing geopolitical developments, they should proactively take mitigation measures so that there is no impact on their balance sheet and they remains in proper shape, right? Okay, was there anything else? I don't think any else news is left. Let me just check. Okay, yes, there is nothing else left, so we are done with this thing, analysis of the news. Now let's directly jump on to analysis of the editorial, right? Yes, so here we are on the editorial page. We'll be doing the last editorial very briefly. I don't see this thing to be very related directly to our syllabus, although it can be seen as a part of this disadvantageous section of Indian society, right? Okay, if constitutionally protected, women right could face revocation. The right of gay and lesbian people may be next. Okay, it is saying that in the constitutionally protected women's right, okay, could face revocation. So I don't know what it is talking about. Look, here is White House. Okay, so most probably it is not of India. Okay, it is from different country, basically America. Fine. So just give it a read, very brief read. Yes, I was correct. US Supreme Court and all those things are there. I don't have to read this. But wait, let's see. Roe versus Wade draft opinion has been leaked, and yes, there was a leakage. Yes. If constitutionally protected, okay. But it also paved way for erosion of gay rights in America. If constitutionally protected women's rights were recognized almost 50 years ago, then reaffirmed almost 20 years later could be revoked by a conservative super majority of US Supreme Court. Then similarly situated rights for gay and lesbian people, such as the right to marry someone of the same sex, are also susceptible to revocation. In December 2021, US Supreme Court concluded oral argument on ongoing case that looked at 2018 Mississippi law that bans most abortion after 15 weeks. Almost 50 years earlier, the same court had held that it was unconstitutional for a state to ban or restrict abortion before fetal viability. Later, okay, in another 1992 case, it held ruling on viability. Keeping Roe and Casey in mind, lower court permitted and joined the Mississippi law, but case eventually moved up to Supreme Court. I don't know what it is talking about, and I don't think this is very important for our examination. Yes, one thing we can get it from here, right? Indian Supreme Court is better in these things. Okay, what can we get from here? Look, women and LGBTQ people, right? They are the disadvantageous section and they need constitutional protection, right? So whenever you are writing about the disadvantageous section of the society, always include women, transgender, LGBTQ community, old age, right? These things at least you given apart from STs, tribals, scheduled caste, right? Children, mentally unstable. Okay, then you have this PWDs, Divyang people, etc. Right. So these are the various dimensions on which you have to write an answer of this thing, right? Okay, let's move on to the next page. We're replacing PhD professors with practitioners. Work. The challenge in this approach needs to be analyzed. So, if we replace the PhD professors in institutions with practitioners, then would it work? Would it be worth going? UGC has recently announced that it will do away with the mandatory PhD qualification to central universities spread across the country. It purportedly addressed the shortage of qualified faculties in CUs. Okay. Industry experts and professional practitioners from different fields with domain expertise will be brought to address the shortage by creating a special position of professor and associated professor of practice. Okay. The face of it appears well intentioned. Obviously, no scheme is ill intentioned, it is also always well intentioned. But what is the ground level challenges? Let's see. What is the main problem it is trying to solve? In a carte blanche to do away with PhD to meet a shortfall. Okay, what value do good PhD bring to teaching? Beside imparting cutting edge knowledge and with a sound conceptual base that is relevant for a long time, they train and equip a student with skill to face real life challenges. PhD teachers are trained to answer how and why questions. Fundamentally, they are researchers. Besides transferring existing knowledge to their students, they are supposed to create new knowledge through long and deep investigation, relevant issue, and academic rigor. They come out with a concept and theories tested and retested by others. Okay. Some fundamental understanding is applicable across industries and all those. A good PhD teacher would focus on relevant theories. Okay, fine. Practitioners bring knowledge and deep expertise related to specific context and application. However, the fast-changing business and technological environment result in limited shelf life experiences. Okay. Another critical issue is how would institution judge quality of practitioner it hires? Using the number of years of work experience in field as a yardstick could be misleading. Yes, it is true. Okay, a mixed model is therefore needed. Fine. It just want to say this article that fine, PhD professors has its own goods and practitioners also has own goods. So what we need a mix or better of both worlds, right? You have to understand this. Okay, there's nothing else here. You just can write in your answers of related to educational infrastructure in India, but then also it depends what kind of question it is. It can just be a point in the answer if direct questions come from this thing, right? Okay, text and context page. The confusion over status of Assam. A member of one of the Assam Foreigner Tribunal has written to Hitesh Sharma, the state coordinator for NRC, asking him to stop the act of interfering in lawful functioning of tribunals. Okay. Was in response to Mr. Sharma's 18 April letter to all the FT members as not to treat NRC as final. The complete NRC draft was published on August 31, 2019. The draft excluded 19.06 lakh out of 3.3 crore who had applied for inclusion. Mr. Sharma submitted an affidavit at Guwahati High Court referring to the August 2019 as supplementary list and non-final NRC and sought early verification. An FT member choosing to be anonymous insisted that NRC published in accordance with relevant clauses of Citizenship Act was final. Okay, so still 19.06 lakh people are out of the game and they are rendered stateless. Okay. Now let's read this. Then what is the status of NRC? According to SC, only Office of Registrar General has authority to public final NRC and a notification in this regard is yet to be issued. But FT member, instead of looking at the case of people declared foreigners independently of NRC, has been passing judgment by viewing NRC as final. He said that Mr. Hajela's statement was misleading. NRC officer also pointed out that updating exercise still has some stages to go. The next stage is issuance of a rejection slip to each of the 19.06 lakh people excluded from draft of NRC. After receiving such a slip with explanation of why he or she has been left out of NRC, a person would have to approach FT concerned within 120 days with document to prove his citizenship. FT would then adjust the person as citizen or foreigner and for inclusion or rejection of the NRC. What is the stance of Assam government? The government has stuck to its stand that NRC was erroneous erroneous. They have said that at least 20% of enlisted names in district bordering to Bangladesh and 10% in the remaining district need verification. The government has not accepted the list final and has decided to approach Supreme Court for corrected NRC. The government, however, has decided to put the unfreezing biometrics of 21 lakh people collected during the updation exercise to enable them to get Aadhaar card, which can be logged again if person is eventually marked as non-citizen. Okay, so this is the status. Government believes that there are some exclusion and inclusion error, and NRC can be issued by Office of Registrar General only, and notification in this regard has not been issued yet. Therefore, in such context, this cannot be treated as final. Okay. India's vulnerability to drought. What does written drought in numbers report to us? How is United Nations planning to combat the effect of such dry spells? Let's see. The drought in number report. Okay, so this is the name of report. Is a collection of data on effect of drought on our ecosystem and how it can be mitigated through efficient planning. The report has revealed that many parts of India fall under the list of regions to vulnerable to drought globally. It also stated that India's GDP reduced by 2 to 5% between 1998 to 2017 due to several droughts. According to a 2017 report by FAO, the percentage of plant affected by drought has doubled in more than 40 years now. This is enough fodder for my answer. I don't even need to read this thing, but still we'll read very in a very brief manner. Okay, what is drought in number report? Is a collection of data, and if you know the same thing is written here. Okay. Okay, you give it a read. There is nothing else here. The same thing. It has been very well summarized. It just has been given very well, right? And let's see if anything else is remaining. That cache page is remaining. No? What is this? How to manage many password. Now this is more of a technical thing. If you want, you can read it, but it won't come in examination. These days, with internet being a part of everyday life, to bring out order many services offered security password. On one hand, you should have a strong password that thwart misuse. On the other hand, remember all the password. Okay. Outline 10 processes that goes in creating a password manager. Let us assume that we have 5 different accounts. Now let us store them in a file called user nm password 1 pwd1.txt shown below, where a username and password are separated by delimiter symbol. Okay, as you might have observed here, the passwords are easy to guess or break into. It is better to generate a strong password for accounts which are used for day-to-day purpose. So we'll first create a file user nm.txt that stores only username of the account. See box 2. CMD line password manager cat you create username. Okay, box 1 it is Adidas. Okay, British. Okay, so here's have 5 things. Okay. It is not required. Please don't read it. Okay, it is teaching how to create a password manager. Not at all relevant with examination. Yes, one thing is relevant, that role of password in protecting the account in a overall or a very in getting an overall picture. What is the role of this password managers, right? So this is it. So I think with this we have come to end of the today's newspaper analysis. Yes, your homework as usual. Which case study or examples or articles you use in your answer of which paper, right? Comment below. You know I read each and every comment, and you also know that this is a no nonsense channel, so please subscribe to this channel. You won't regret this. And okay, you subscribe to our channel. We are coming up with a lot of new courses related to both UPSC. Right now we are focused on UPSC and BPSC, right? Because BPSC 67th re-examination is also on the card, but first UPSC examination is on the cards on 5th June. So we'll be coming up with materials related to UPSC right now, and for BPSC 67 after 5th June we'll be focusing this, right? So on this note, I end today's news analysis session. I hope you like it. So friends, I really hope that you like this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe our channel and share this video with your friend. Follow us on Telegram as well. Also, keep studying hard, keep following your dreams, and keep tuned to our channel. Comment below for any suggestion. Till then, goodbye, good luck, keep studying hard.